Oakley dokley. So I had a little request for a video from my only follower ever. And so I'm going to do a little video about that. And I'm going to try and make it funny the whole way through. To at least put on this voice just for the point of it. Just why not? Let's pretend we're in America and we're not in Australia. We're not in a place that just worships sports and the machine and the military and everything else. And everyone else is fucked because they're outside of that all-encompassing CIA control mechanism machine known as industry, government, and the banking system and the jobs and whatnot. So let's just pretend that we're, at least have some opportunity in life in a decent country. Fuck, hard times. So this video is gonna be about the days of the week in order. So what do you think? Okay, so Monday through to Sunday. Now, it made sense before. It doesn't make sense anymore. Wait, let me think about this. Oh, jeez, man. Mars Retro just doesn't give you the follow-through. Just, you don't have the oomph. It's not... It'll be there, but it's just not there. Unless you just do it. You just got to do it. You just do it, all right? Pluto's retro as well, man. Mercury's gone direct, so the mind's active. Everything else is direct, but... Anyway, so, let's see now. Let's see. Fuck. Alright, so yeah, that's the thing. The days of the week, they start Moon Day, Monday, the Moon's Day is the fastest moving. So it goes in the fastest. So the fastest planets in astrology have the lowest designation of power because it's the fastest, the quickest moving, and I was like, yeah, it's moving, so, it's like a fly, it's annoying, get out of the way, it's moving fast. So the Moon moves the fastest, faster than Mercury, so she gets the lowest designation in astrology, Monday. Then we have Tuesday, the Mercury day, that's the next fastest moving, that's the next, least, it's a baby god, the Moon, Mercury, it's a baby, so it doesn't have much, power in the weight of, in the world of the gods. So, Mercury gets that next designation. And then, of course, Mars, which takes 2 years, or thereabouts, the next one, Wednesday, it's so the terrible twos, toddlers, 2 years old, you start to get, like self, ego, and you kind of got to assert yourself and get your needs met. And, this is the 2-year-old scene, which is Mars. And then you got Jupiter, which is 12 years. So that's a bit more wise than the sage. Jupiter's a bit more, Jesus went out when he was 12, 24, you hit the Jupiter return, 36, you get another one. And this is a bit more, expansive. It's a good one. It's a great benefic planet. It's a positive thing. So 12, 24, 36, you get this Jupiter thing. And that's going to be cool. It's going to be a good thing because it's going to give you expansion. And, all those with Jupiter in Virgo right now are getting that energy. And that's like... I think the thing with Virgo, Jupiter, it's like animals. I should talk about where the planet is now, but I'll go back and do that. So Jupiter, 12 years, Thursday, Jupiter Virgo right now. So it's expanding into, purity, expanding into taking care of animals, being mindful of animals, purity, integrity, cleanliness, like healthy diet, veganism, vegetarianism, looking after little animals. You see a lot of little cute animal videos right now. Jupiter's in Virgo, and that's what that is. And then Saturn's day, Saturday, 30 years. You hit 28 to 30, you hit your Saturn return, and it's a hard one. This is the first or the second malefic planet, the greater malefic planet, where you get a big negative contraction, where you get a big shutdown, you get a big no in your life, and you got to really put a limit on things, on the external world, and people and time, and internally, you got to limit yourself. So you limit yourself towards focusing and working out something specifically related to your Saturn sign, wherever that is placed. So Saturn in Scorpio, you gotta, you know, I know, put limits on conflict and like violence and work on transforming your own sexuality. I mean, that's a way to look at Saturn Scorpio. And then Sunday, which is interesting because, you know, it only takes a year, so it's a funny, not completely right with this little order thing that we're doing, but, you know, it's kind of cool because the sun is kind of the one, you know, the sun's like, if you can follow the day, if you can be up in the morning and watch the sunrise, watch the sunset, you know, you can be really conscious of that. You can really get a good sense of energy. You can get a really good energy in your body, in yourself. And your consciousness will get, because the sun is the consciousness, the ego, the self, so you get a really good, I guess, sense of consciousness. So it's kind of, it's this, the first, it's the closest, it's the most central, it's the youngest in a way. I mean, it's only a year, but it's definitely the most important one, or one of the most important ones, according to the Artanists anyway. At least it's the most important, you know. To Akhenaten and the solar worshippers, you know, it's definitely, at least in terms of consciousness, the most important one. And historically, I remember doing some research in different cultures. They've found that they had different cultures recorded when Saturn was actually the main planet in the center, not the sun. And there was a golden age when Saturn was the center one where the Earth went round, and I think Venus was in between, and they switched. And there was this light as they switched. There was lightning in the sky, and they switched, and the sun became the one. So this is a thing, like Saturn being the old sun, but there's a bit of a thing, but now the sun is definitely the one, the main one, the one if you can tune to and get down with, you know, in terms of aligning with, it's going to definitely benefit you the most. So that's why we end on Sunday, you know, with that. So yeah, that's a little quick little snippet of that. But I'm going to go reverse now, back down, and just talk a little bit, just get a little snapshot of what's so we'll go from Sunday. The sun today is in Gemini, so the sun, the ego, the self is kind of about communicating and bringing through information. The twins, the lovers, you might get a brother sister dynamic, you might get a lover dynamic situation, but there's always a split. Gemini is really about the split because it's the first air sign, so there's like a split that happens, and you got to acknowledge that and just let that be. That's the best way to deal with Gemini, I think, and to not be attached to anything or anyone or being right or, you know, any of that stuff, because then you just get the negative Gemini of like conflict and duality. And I think really Gemini is about using your skills, using your hands, and using and developing abilities as an individual, so it can hit up the other side of Sagittarius and bring in the energies of the king and expansion and the galactic center through Sagittarius. So yeah, now coming back down, we go to Saturn's day. So Saturn right now is in Sagittarius. So it's like the lessons of what you have to do in the collective, like the collective lessons are around, you know, freedom and being free. So it's kind of like travel is definitely encouraged. It feels like you kind of have to want to travel. You have to want to move. You have to want to be free. You know, travel is definitely going to be the lesson right now. Otherwise, you're going to kind of probably get back into conflict. Mars and Saturn are both in Sag right now, so you're going to probably hit up with Mars, and there's probably going to be conflict that's going to happen unless you're out as an individual doing your own thing and being free, like Sagittarius suggests is the ideal. So yeah, definitely lessons around traveling and being free is the situation now with Saturn. We forgot about Freeze Day in Venus. So Venus right now is in Gemini as well. So Venus, Gemini, kind of like very quick witty, kind of like flirtatious and very like, you know, multiple, I don't know, thing, but very light. It's a very, you know, Venus is about relating and relationships, so it's kind of like probably quite a fickle way of relating, kind of quite shallow, but, you know, humorous and fun, social butterfly, you know, type of relating, and, you know, lots of stuff going on, lots of information happening, but relating like that to maybe heaps of different people. Social media, you'd be quite a bit of a whiz at communicating and stuff like that. That's kind of the vibe with Venus there. go back to Jupiter in Virgo, like I said, right now is, about veganism, taking care of little animals, purity, Virgo and Jupiter, discipline, order, routine, getting your schedules in right, getting, a good program, discipline, purity, cleanliness, cleansing is a Virgo thing, purity, sacred sexuality is another Virgo thing. Let's see, so back to Mars. Mars is in Sag right now with Saturn conjunct, so it's kind of like your energy, and it's retrograde, so it's kind of like there's going to be a bit of a block on the energy right now. There's sort of like still not this full energy to a certain take action right now, so this kind of, I guess, getting you to do things differently, getting you to do things to question your actions, so you can kind of just think about, what's the best way to act right now, and just, let the action go, so you can kind of, I think it's surrendering to divine will rather than having a personal will. Surrendering to the divine will and letting the personal will go, so you can get a bigger sense of what the divine really wants you to do rather than what you want to do. So that's probably Mars retro and Sag right now, and Mercury is in Taurus, just gone out of retrograde, and it's in Taurus, so it's kind of like Mercury's kind of like in the lush lands of opulence and abundance, and when you're thinking about like getting material comforts and getting like having nice food, and your mind's kind of like, how am I gonna I kind of want to, my mind is kind of wanting me to eat, the mouth, Taurus rules the mouth, and eating and speaking also, about abundance and opulence and comfortability, so that might be going on as well in your mind. The moon's in Pisces right now, Monday, the moon's in Pisces right now, so it's like the feelings, the psyche, the mother, the way you feel, is in Pisces, so this is like feeling in this final place of completion. It's kind of like a spiritual place where you're just transcending everything but your connection to the Creator, so it's a nice place to be. In a way, can fall, because the moon can, fall into emotional attachments to negative patterns, addictions can happen. So I think the thing with Pisces is you just got to get a spiritual practice happening, and that'll resolve the negative stuff of the moon there, so of Pisces. So anyway, guys, that's a little thing on the moon, or the days of the week, and how they relate to kind of like ascending time cycles, and then the idea that the sun is the final one at the end, that kind of want to get the most attunement with, and kind of complete there and merge with your sun. Check your natal sun for how the coloring of your consciousness really is at a soul level, and just get that conscious level awareness going on, so you can understand your natal sun and be a savior for yourself, so you don't fall in the trap of religion and soul worship, or you worship your own soul with awareness and self-knowledge. And send me an email if you need me to write that out for you, because I can do that, and it'll help you experience self-knowledge, which is very important. All right, guys, we'll see you later.